Okay, the crypto market is going absolutely insane over the past couple of hours. The last 24 hours, in terms of announcements, has been huge. A couple things have come out that on their own already made me a couple $100,000 profit, and I think are going to profit me way more in the next few hours or days. Let me tell you about it. So first of all, I've been buying a coin called Aster. We already talked about it briefly, I believe, somewhere yesterday. I believe on stream we mentioned this one. And basically, it's CZ who's mentioned this perp dex. The reason it is an important thing is because, well, it's supposed to be a competitor to Hyperliquid in some extent. New perp dex over on BNB chain, invested in by Easy Labs, the entity what CZ is also in. He removed X Binance from his bio. He removed the X. He's still got Binance aside. This is the first time he's talking about a chart in a while. We've seen what the Binance guys are able to do, what CZ is able to do. It went from 17 cents to just now about, I think, yeah, it's right now sitting at 66 cents. I've just been buying this all around. My entry is actually pretty good, as about 80% of my stack here, as you can see, at this lower 44-cent range or so. And I most likely we'll just hold this to either zero or the freaking moon. And I don't even want to comment on valuations. I just think that I never fade a CZ call, meaning I just buy in and wait a few months if I have to. The project is crap, absolutely garbage, but I do wonder how good can it be if the project itself actually does become good, and how good can it be when the coin is tradable everywhere? Because right now it's a freaking chore to buy it over on Aster. Thing number two is that for Solana, things are really, really great right now. And why I'm saying that is because massive new DATs, massive new treasuries are being announced all around. When I'm looking through my feed here, it's 90% Aster, 10% of an announcement I'm about to show you, okay, that already puts us at 100%. Let's just say it's a lot of Aster. Most people are talking about it right now. There's a little bit about CZ and him removing some of the words and how bullish Aster could be. There's a little bit, or actually quite a lot, about Trump, or how bullish the market is about to become because of stock pumps and something of that sort. President Trump says we'll have more than $17 trillion invested in our country this year. Just a lot of bullish remarks in that notion, or in that state. But there's two additional things that I think are absolutely huge that are happening right in front of us right now. Now, first of all, let me say, I completely stand on the side of, if you ever fade a CZ call, CZ again is the guy behind Binance, it's going to be hard to make it for you, because I just always listen to CZ. I really always do. Call me stupid. But here's point number two. What has just been announced over the past 24 hours is the SEC approving generic listing standards for ETFs, paving way for digital asset listings without explicit approval. And so here's two things, right? First of all, the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund coming up. So again, we're seeing this ETF wave already hit in full force: BTC, ETH, XRP, SOL, and ADA. But here's Mert's take, which I think is quite accurate. Okay, so, and by the way, let me also quickly say in the midst here that I've also not been trading it too much manually here. Yes, this one coin, this Aster, I bought manually, but for the most part, I'm using my bots here. All right, and even though Aster is already up double since I just bought it, almost, we're getting to that point, which is a lot of money that I've put into this one. I've been aping it pretty hard. Also, the CoinBot stacker, for example, is up, I think, $40,000 today on its own. And then I look at the XRP trade and all the trades, and we're doing really, really good. But here's the kicker, right? Take a look. I bought even some more Solana. Right now, we are at 248. I keep repeating the thesis behind why I buy Sol, why I buy Aster, why I bought some different coins. This market is just way too easy. And that's where people sometimes get confused. They get suspicious. They think, it's supposed to be more difficult, right? Sometimes it doesn't have to be. We elaborated upon this yesterday. This cycle has been full of obviously winning trades. I see I'm lagging a bit, but I'm not going to stop right here. What did I say in my yesterday's video? I said, most likely, what's going to happen right now is the market's going to absolutely go crazy in a bullish way. The only thing that could take us down is if we get another massive crash going on the short term. But whatever you do, that's what I said yesterday. We buy into the weakness. So I already said we should be buying into the candle of the FOMC. Whatever dip there happens, we buy in and see. Why? Because we were selling off just before that, right? A few days before FOMC to buy into the weakness. A lot of people over on crypto Twitter said, no, we wait for further crashes. And I said, I don't think it's going to. It could, right? But if it does happen, by some strange reason, we buy into that weakness. But unfortunately, or fortunately for you, it did not happen. So Mert said this. Okay, this is interesting for DATs. What? Again, the idea that these SEC standards have been lowered for ETFs, meaning more ETFs, easier ETFs. If it's easier to do ETFs and specifically staking ETFs for these coins, then DATs are marginally less attractive, which is interesting. And the supply for these coins on the institutional side increases relative to demand, which means that DATs need to start going further along the risk curve to compete. So a few reasonable conclusions to make. More capital will go to DeFi, and the reason this is bullish is because they will hold their coins and insert them into DeFi, not necessarily selling them. And this will also be bullish for all the DeFi coins. Why do you think Uniswap, 𝗕𝗏, and all these freaking coins were going up like crazy over the past 24 hours, 𝗓𝗏𝗧? It's because this idea is coming along, that these funds that are buying billions right now worth of SOL, for example, are going to be putting it into DeFi. With compressed timelines, the bigger DATs, which again are digital asset treasuries, these are companies who primarily buy a crypto token like SOL, have a better chance of eating up smaller ones. Think a SOL DAT eating another altcoin DAT, etc. DATs start acquiring smaller revenue generating startups faster. This is what I talked about a few days ago. Increased risk of some DATs doing something degenerate to compete, which is again how I think the crypto market will implode this season. MNAV compression happens faster. That basically when when a DAT does not become as interesting anymore. Because at the end of the day, all these plays are all about the net asset value. Regardless, as it currently stands, the reason these little posts are so popular right now, by the way, is because everybody's saying, this is going back to our previous thoughts right here, everybody's saying that CZ wants a perp DEX out there, does not want Hyperliquid to succeed, and for that reason, they are pushing this hard. I mean, it was not really a hard push, it was just one post, but you can see how much it did for the price. It's already done absolutely amazing, and the funniest thing to me is that the token is not really out just quite yet. Oh, by the way, what I stated earlier about this whole DeFi debacle, here you can actually see it in the flesh. Mert sharing, Kyle raises 1.5 bill, says I'll put it into Solana DeFi, bought some 𝗓𝗏𝗧, hits all-time high for 4 billion, I guess. 𝗓𝗏𝗧 up 50% this week. And here before we can see, somebody said the crypto world thought they totally understood Bagwork right up until they finally saw Kyle Samani fully unleashed. And he says, I was born for this because, again, these guys are buying SOL. And I'm just enjoying the entirety of the crypto space right now. A lot of people are calling in my ear saying, no, we're going higher. Do not get fooled here. And all I got to respond back is, if we do, I'm buying into that weakness. Because sure, there is a chance that this FOMC was, for the most part, already priced in. And so there's not as much buying pressure right now. But when you really start adding everything up, like I said in yesterday's video, this is freaking statue of Trump with crypto in his hand, or Bitcoin specifically in his hand. I don't know how I'd fade this. I don't understand why, from a risk-reward perspective, it is not worth it to go a bit crazy right now. Do we know where coins are going tomorrow? No. Is there a very high chance these coins will be trading at a significantly higher price than they're currently trading at within a few days or a few weeks from now? Yes. Again, if you want the strategies I'm employing here, deploying, whatever you want to call it here, that are very low management, check out the bots. A link is down below. The reason I keep stating this is because out of all the strategies I've got, and I've always got millions of dollars worth of trades open, the easiest ones to go for are the ones where you don't have to pay too much attention and where the workings of its own are basically paying for the funding. So in this case here, I think almost every single one of the bots I've opened recently has been doing pretty freaking well. Let's see what I'm just going to quickly refresh this. Let's see what the top performing bot in my stack would be right now. In the meantime, as I'm refreshing, I thought let's open it up here because all my bots are doing some absolutely crazy numbers right now. Let's take a look at the main bot stack. Even XRP and stuff, even though XRP is not moving as much, over the past 130 days, our 55K is up 66,000. 50K in Bitcoin is up $30,000. 16K in XLM is up $22,000. 30K in ETH 60 days ago, so 2 months ago, is up $30,000. You can see we're doing some absolutely crazy numbers. Let's see. So the best performer right now seems to indeed be Ethereum, being up roughly 200% on one of my bots. The worst performer is XRP, but that actually is a bit of a curveball because the XRP bot they're referring to is this one right here, which is a 10K to a million challenge. And we're actually doing pretty good on that. I have to cash out these the 4K worth of profits to reinvest it to get the ball rolling again. But I've not done that in a little while. But that's also because XRP has failed to do something crazy recently. It's just I thought it would finally start making some moves. We're slowly but surely cashing out, but it's only like maybe $50, maybe a little bit more than that a day right now. Whereas most of the other bots are in way, way, way more profit or stacking way more. This XRP bot, I think, is stacking like $200 a day. Let's see here. No, matter of fact, now, this night, so usually it stacks about 0.5 XRP per time. And the fact that it transacted 250 times, you can get. So we stacked about 125 XRP on this bot over just one night. That is pretty good if you start thinking about it, right? That's like almost it's getting closer to, let's just say, $400. I don't know. I'm loving all this right now. The market is our freaking friend right here. And regardless of what happens, you know the theory, you know the thoughts. Crazy things are happening in crypto right now. Super, super bullish is what I am. And I just wanted to quickly get this news out to y'all so you can quickly eat up on it. Every single coin I'm still buying. I don't care. Right? I don't care what anybody else says. Aster, from any logical perspective, this is not a recommendation of sorts. I wouldn't necessarily say try picking them up at these high of a prices, because 65 cents, 67 cents here, 68 cents, it is quite high, specifically because there's going to be some selling pressure here in the near future. All I will say about the situation is monitor it closely. It doesn't hurt to get some sort of position going or just to learn the project, because there's a good chance they're going to climb this one up even further. Again, do I guarantee it to you? No. And could I set this sooner? Sure. But sometimes, you know, when it comes to Hyperliquid as well, at the start, there's a whole big wave of hatred and people saying, no, I can't, and then a few weeks afterwards, you just keep on shining. And that's what I kind of see for Aster here as well. Do I really know what the DEX does or how it functions? I had to learn it a little bit to purchase. Garbage. I'll just tell you straight up, it's not good. I don't like it necessarily at all. The only reason I like it is because I wanted to buy some tokens out there, make some schmeckles. And that's about it for this little crypto update.